The Beast Within. I remember the first time I shifted. I was only 16, naive, full of reckless energy, with no idea of what was happening to me. The pain was unbearable, like every bone in my body was being crushed and pulled in every direction. I tried to scream, but no sound escaped my lips. Then, as suddenly as it came, it stopped. I looked at my hands, massive claws, thick fur sprouting from my skin, and I understood, even if I couldn't comprehend the enormity of what had just happened. I was a monster. I ran through the woods that night, my senses wild, my body thrumming with power. But beneath it all, there was a gnawing dread. It wasn't just the hunger that rumbled deep inside me, demanding release. It was the fear of what I might do to those I loved, what I might destroy without meaning to. That night, I killed for the first time. A deer, yes, but I knew it wouldn't always be a deer. The years that followed were a blur of blood and rage. Each full moon, I would retreat to the woods, away from people, away from my family. I couldn't trust myself around them. It was easier to embrace the wolf than to fight it. But there were nights when I lost control. There were days when I woke up with blood on my hands and no memory of how I got it. I don't know when I realized I wasn't alone. There were others, other wolves who moved through the shadows, who felt the same hunger I did. They called themselves a pack, but I never joined them. I was always an outsider, an anomaly. Still, they watched me. I could feel their eyes on me when I ran in the moonlight. Then came her. Her name was Evelyn, and I'll never forget the night she appeared in my life. I found her in the woods, caught in the middle of a storm, soaked to the bone, her eyes wide with terror. She was running from something I couldn't understand until it was too late. Before I could help her, the pack was upon us. I tried to protect her, but they were too many, too fast. They dragged her into the forest, their eyes burning with an insatiable hunger. I followed, driven by a primal instinct I couldn't control, but when I reached them, I hesitated. There was a moment, just before the shift began again, when I saw her face, her eyes pleading for me to save her. But I was already the beast. The wolf inside me was stronger now, its hunger too fierce to ignore. I tore through the pack, savage and wild. I didn't care if they were my kind. Evelyn screamed as I tore into the flesh of my own kin, and I could taste the blood in my mouth. It was the first time I had ever killed another werewolf. When the carnage ended, I stood over her, breathing heavily, my claws covered in blood. She was alive, but broken, her body trembling. I could see it in her eyes, the same fear I had lived with all these years. "You're one of them," she whispered, barely able to speak. I nodded, swallowing the lump in my throat. "No," she said, shaking her head. "You're worse." I don't know why I didn't kill her then. Maybe a part of me still clung to my humanity. Or maybe I wanted her to see that I wasn't like the others, that I could control the beast inside me. But I couldn't. And I knew, deep down, that the night would come when I wouldn't be able to stop it. The full moon is rising tonight.